Happy video day, guys. Christina, Brooke here. Today I wanted to dive into some Natasha Denona information. There has been no updates. Have you guys noticed it's been kind of like one of those really slow the year of Natasha Denona years? I feel like the gossip isn't really coming out too much. There's not many launches, and I totally get it. I feel like right now there's a lot of brands pulling back a little bit. I feel like it's gonna be it's strange times, and things are getting weirder. So I think a lot of brands are being a little hesitant, which I totally get it. But because of that, it's been hard for me to do my Natasha Denona 1 year, one brand updates and chismes because there's really nothing coming out. So I decided, you know what? Why don't we do a different kind of video? And today I'm going to be telling you guys the products that I think that Natasha Denona should release. These are the items that I think her brand really, really needs. Some of these things she already has in her lineup, but I just don't think they're good. And I think that they need revamping. And I believe that if she does it this way, we will all be happy. Well, I don't know. At least I'll be happy. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do. This is the things that I think Natasha Denona should release within the next year. I think that this is what she should release. So anyways, I've done a video similar to this one in the past, but today we're just really going to focus on what I think she should really put out there. This is stuff that needs to come out. So if you're new, hit subscribe, join the family, and let's go ahead and let's get into it. All right, so we all know that Natasha Denona has kind of been teasing some complexion, right? So she released her Hygen, which let's be honest. I mean, I don't think Hygen was that amazing. It's good. It's a cool product. I think it looks really nice underneath makeup. It was interesting, but I don't think it was revolutionary in any way. I don't think anybody is still really talking about Hygen if it was amazing. If you guys don't know what it was, it's those little drops. I had it right here somewhere. I don't even know where it is, but I actually had it out for a while and I was using it and it was good. It's not something that I feel like I always need. I do know some people really like it though. Me personally, I thought it was okay. It's okay, right? But I do believe there is an area in complexion that Natasha Denona really needs to hit on. She has a foundation, but that foundation is, I hate to say it, but it's outdated, right? It kind of released at a time that things weren't so into makeup and what's new. And I feel like her foundation missed that point, and it was never good enough for it to be a real talked about product. I don't think anybody really talks that much about Natasha Denona's foundation. I'm sure there's people who love it, but it can't be that great because I don't hear about it that often. So I feel like Natasha Denona really needs to go into the complexion zone and come out with something amazing for foundation. And I think that she has an opening right now. Right now there's an opening because not many foundations have released, and the ones that have released have been okay. I've heard really good things about the new Hourglass one, and I actually went to 2 stores to pick it up today, and apparently nobody really has it in the store. But yeah, a few people have talked about the Hourglass being a really good product, but other than that, have you really seen a real great complexion launch this year? Not really. I love the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin. I think it's such a good foundation. I actually have it on today. For mature skin, I think it's great. But I don't think that there has really been a complexion product launch that has been oh my gosh, this is the best. And I think Natasha has, I hope there's not too much sun. The sun's going down and it comes through this window. But I think Natasha has a moment. She has a moment to come out with a really good complexion product. And I hope that whatever she comes out with is not a full coverage. It is not a matte. I have a combination complexion. So to me, anything that is good for combination complexions, I think would be great. So nothing too matte and nothing too dewy. Straight down the line, kind of the LYS foundation that I think is so phenomenal. I think they did such a good job. I think that people with oily skin and combination and dry skin can get away with wearing it. I think she needs something like that. But it needs to have a little bit of moisture in it because who doesn't want to look youthful? And I feel like moisture really helps make the skin look, really makes the skin look youthful. So that's what I'm hoping for from Natasha, a satin complexion product that is really good for combination skin and everybody can kind of use it universally, that it has a little bit of hydration in it and that it is absolutely amazing. Not full coverage, but not sheer coverage, straight down the middle, medium. You could play it up, play it down. I think that if she comes out with something like that before the end of the year, I think people are really gonna like it because there hasn't been like that hit foundation lately. Also concealer. I think that she has a moment to come out with a very good concealer. Right now, people aren't really talking about full coverage. I think right now everything has been a little bit aimed more towards natural kind of makeup, not really full coverage. But she has a moment to come out with a really good concealer. I know she has one, but one that's really good. She has a moment to come out with one that goes really good with her foundation, that could create like a really awesome complexion line, and I think she has a moment to do that. Natasha's super known for her eyeshadow, but like I really feel it's the moment that she needs to jump into complexion. Also, Hourglass has that amazing ambient powders, like their ambient powders that I think are so great. I really love for Natasha to copy Hourglass. But I would love for Natasha to do something similar to Hourglass's product, because Hourglass really is the only brand that has like that amazing ambient powder that's just so good. And Natasha has the ability, I believe, to create something similar to that. So I want something like an Hourglass product, like an Hourglass ambient powder to come from Natasha Denona. Okay, so those are my complexion items that I really think Natasha would excel at creating. Obviously, there's blushes that I would like to see from her, but I'm not like super excited to see a blush right now. I think that Pat McGrath with all her 500 blushes that she released kind of got me like, okay, you know, I've got a few of them and they're actually really good. And blush, I don't know, like I'm not like excited for blush, but I am excited for a good complexion product from Natasha. And then segue into something else that I really think her brand needs to do. And I really think that they need to come out with a green color story. And I know that we've already been hinted that Retro Glam, which is going to be the new retro that is going to come out now for fall. I keep saying it's for fall. I don't even know if it's going to come out this year, but I think she's going to release it for fall or holiday. Like this, it's the perfect time to put a good palette out. So I would see it as a missed opportunity not to release it right now for holiday, but it has been hinted that it's gonna have green in it, but I'm hoping that this color story is what we all, if you guys are on the same page as me because we've talked about this, I'm hoping that it is within the neutral green color scheme, that it has those real natural greens, those dusty greens with some dusty pinks in there, and it's like just a beautiful green, not like Kermit the Frog green, you know, like real natural greens, like mossy greens. And we thought that retro was gonna look like, because of mini retro, I am really hoping that that palette releases. And if that palette releases and it's similar to what I'm describing, I think it's going to be a sellout. Like I think it's going to be so good for the brand because the audience is really asking for this. It's not just me. I mean, I've been asking for this for like 3 years, but you guys have also been asking for this. And after we saw mini retro, I think everybody just went crazy saying, I want this. And I really think she needs to do this. So that is going to be a huge catapult for the brand. I really think if they release that, it's going to be phenomenal. What else do I really think? Natasha Denona's brand started off as this luxury makeup artist brand that was kind of like out of people's price point. Everybody thought it was like so nice, but it was like out of their price point. And nobody really wanted to spend that much money on an eyeshadow palette. So then she started to reform into like a mid-range luxury, you know, like obviously it was still kind of expensive. People didn't really want to pay $100-something for these palettes, but people were dabbling into it, right? Now she has reduced even more with these midi palettes, making it so accessible to a lot of people. Still expensive, but a lot more accessible than her more expensive palettes. Then she has released her mini palettes, which are like $27, which obviously is a really nice price point, especially because usually they have a really good formula in them, and we are basing it off of a luxury brand. So this is a good price point for what you're buying. And I feel like if she continues in this path, making her brand just a little bit more mainstream, still staying within the luxury, but not wanting to be like Dior or any of those like real expensive brands. Like bringing it down a few notches, and maybe her foundation not being super pricey, maybe like the $45 price point. I think that would be a real like, wow, you know, like, wow, you know, that's pretty good for a luxury brand. I think that would be really interesting. I also believe that she should release another size palette. I really think Natasha Denona needs to do this. She needs to copy Huda Beauty. She needs to copy Hourglass, and she needs to copy Huda Beauty. But I think that if she came out with a small palette like this, plastic, hard, just like this, identical, no space in between, very clean cut, just like this gives you 9 shades, and price it around, you know, 45 or whatever. Price it like around, you know, like the 35 to 40 something dollar price point. That's even bringing in more customers, you know, like that's even bringing in a bigger spectrum of people. So you can have the minis for like the taster palettes, and then you can have these, the easier to pay for palettes, and then you got the 65, and then really the $125 palettes should be like every once in a blue moon. You know, they're really good, but every once in a blue moon, maybe once a year. And the rest of the time should be between these and the middies and the minis. And I think that that's going to be better for her because, and I think that's better because I think we all would agree this is easier to put inside of our makeup cases, this size. 9 shadows, you can create a beautiful eye look, and you create multiple eye looks with. It's better than even her minis that only have 5 that really can't do that many looks with it. You know, this is already stepping it in between midi and mini. And I know she has a lot of size palettes, and you guys are probably like, oh my God, I don't want no more. But I think that this is the size that's missing. And like I said, I honestly think like the big palettes eventually should just be one time a year, and it should be like a, you know, it should be like her holiday palette that's just like, oh my God, it's so amazing. And that's it. Just because it's just, you know, just because I think times are a-changing, and people are being a little bit more cautious with spending their money, rightfully so. And because of that, I feel like giving the quality, less quantity, and condensing the sizes is going to help people be able to feel a little bit more comfortable purchasing the products. And I think that that would be a smart move. So that is what I'm thinking. And, you know, I've been thinking of this a lot because I love Natasha Denona's brand. I really love her eyeshadows. I think they're so good. I love her eyeliners. I love her lipsticks. I like her aesthetic. I love her eye because I really like the color combinations that she usually puts in palettes. Not every single one. I didn't like Midi Zendo. I didn't like the color arrangement in there. But usually I really like the color arrangement. So I really like this brand a lot, and I really want to see it grow and get a little bit more mainstream. Not like a Too Faced mainstream, but just like luxury mainstream. I think that's like a new category, you know? Taste a little bit of both, you know? You're still in the luxury, but like you're getting smaller products that allow you to really like taste the luxury without spending the dollars. But yeah, so that is what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? What does Natasha Denona need to release within the next year? What's going to really elevate her brand? I want to know from you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want me to do another brand on stuff I think that they should release to kind of pump up their brand a little, leave the brand down below and we'll do another one of these. But yeah, that's what I had for you today. Let me know your thoughts. I will see you guys in the next video. And hopefully we'll be talking about a retro glam coming out soon that's going to be green. Right? I'm not the only one. You guys all said it too, so. Christmas is coming. Christmas is coming. I want to see it. See you guys next time.